You see, I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Not because I have to be. No. Because I choose to be.
Not many people can say they played both Jim Morrison and Batman. But then again, there's only one Val Kilmer. He had extraordinary range, excelling in comedies, western and crime dramas, musical biopics, and adventures films alike. Enter the realm of Val Kilmer, a fearless, eclectic actor whose iconic performances and profound commitment left an indelible stamp on Hollywood. From action-packed performances to his behind-the-scenes quiet strength, we honor the path of a man who transformed passion into legacy. Now, it's your turn to find your own path and time to untap your potential. Welcome to Untapping Your Potential, where we will share with you motivational stories, motivational figures, comeback stories, and public speaking tips that will keep you growing and inspire you to take action. The late, great Val Kilmer was one of the most unique movie stars of all time. And despite the fact that he starred in many popular blockbusters that had significant commercial appeal, he continuously made adventurous choices and refused to compromise his artistic integrity. And although Kilmer's early work included some of all-time classics such as Tombstone, Heat, Top Gun, and True Romance, many of his fans were left confused by the dramatic absence he took within the last 2 decades of his career. Kilmer was born in Los Angeles on December 31st, 1959. When he was around 8 or 9, he went through a lot of family strife. His parents had gone through a divorce, and he didn't know anyone else who was going through the same thing at this time. So he felt very alone during his childhood. He once said in an interview with Telegraph, "It was obvious to me that at the time this was the biggest thing I'd been through. It was seen as it was an odd event, that something bad had happened." Val and his brother lived with their dad, and at the time, they didn't quite develop a close bond with their father. He had butt heads with his siblings a lot, and this was a lot for a kid growing up. His older brother was also interviewed, and he said Val has no example in his life for a good relationship he can look into. However, despite hardships, he attended Chatsworth High School in LA's San Fernando Valley, but soon went to the Juilliard, where he was the youngest person ever accepted to the drama division. From there, he would go on to a movie career that made film critic Roger Ebert call him the most unsung leading man of his generation. Kilmer first appeared on the silver screen in the 1984 Spoof Academy, Top Secret, as a rock star type who accidentally gets involved in a conspiracy to reunify Germany. But his first big budget role came in 1986 when Top Gun director Tony Scott cast him as Tom Iceman Kazansky, the foil to Cruise's Pete Mavericks Mitchell. Now, Val didn't just concentrate on his career. Val and his ex-wife Wally got married in 1988, welcomed their first child together, Mercedes Kilmer, on October 29, 1991. And according to the Los Angeles Times, the pair's daughter was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Mercedes admitted to The Hollywood Reporter in 2017 that she couldn't remember not being aware of her parents' fame. Not long after her dad was diagnosed with cancer, Mercedes was hit by a car. "We were in the same hospital at the same time," she told the THR. Mercedes has a close relationship with her father, whom she dubbed a good friend of hers. "My dad is such a smart and creative person that I love hanging out with, even if he wasn't my dad too." Kilmer followed up his Top Gun success in 1988's Willow and 1992's Thunder Heat. He reunited with Tony Scott for Quentin Tarantino's True Romance in 1993. He played the ever-quotable Doc Holliday in 1993's Tombstone so well that it sparked co-star Michael Biehn to declare, "People ask me, what's it like to work with Val Kilmer? I don't know. I never met him, never shook his hand. I know Doc Holliday, but I don't know Kilmer." In June 1995, Val and Wally welcomed their second child, Jack Kilmer. And Jack mostly grew outside the spotlight, and over the years, the actor shared glimpses of him. Kilmer proudly celebrated his son's graduation in 2013 with a snapshot of himself and Jack. "My son's graduation today," he captioned the post. Jack has followed in his family's footsteps. He appeared in Gia Coppola's Palo Alto, which also starred James Franco. And according to the Interview magazine, Jack had done virtually no acting before walking onto the set. At the time, Jack told magazine that he and his father could relate on a whole other level. He said it was exciting to read a script with him. 1995 must have been an ecstatic year for Val because right around that same year his son was born. Val became one more actor to portray Bruce Wayne and Batman on the big screen. And although Batman Forever was met with mixed reviews by critics, Batman creator Bob Kane told Cinescape that Kilmer's Batman was the best as of 1995. Kilmer went on to co-star in Michael Mann's Heat that same year, a role that accidentally produced his greatest contribution to the U.S. military, after his role as Iceman in the form of the film's ultra-realistic fire and movement sequences. Indeed, the sequence where Kilmer's character runs out of bullets during the movie's legendary gunfight scene and is forced to swap magazines was regularly, and still is, shown to Marine Corps recruits on how to do so well under pressure. Look, that's the level of detail you get from a guy who learned to sing like Jim Morrison so well that even the Doors couldn't tell it was actually Val Kilmer singing. Unfortunately, Kilmer learned he had throat cancer in 2014. He publicly disclosed it for the first time in 2017 Reddit Ask Me Anything post. He initially kept his diagnosis private, but later opened about it in his battle. What were Val Kilmer's initial reactions to his diagnosis? What was going through his mind? As a devout Christian Scientist, Kilmer initially rejected conventional medical treatment, believing that prayer and spiritual healing would be sufficient. He referred to his illness as the suggestion of throat cancer, reflecting that belief that illness is a misperception rather than a physical reality. However, his children, who did not share his faith, were deeply concerned about his health. Their fears played a crucial role in convincing Kilmer to seek traditional medical care. Eventually, Kilmer underwent surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. Kilmer's story resonates with many, as he joined a list of public figures who have bravely shared their cancer journeys, helping to raise awareness and reduce the stigma surrounding the disease. During his recovery, Kilmer found comfort in creative outlets. He began painting and writing. When one thing is taken, though, another is given. With little voices, many creative juices were boiling over. In 2021, directors Leo Scott and Tim Pool released a documentary, Val, about Kilmer's career and battle with throat cancer, using footage shot by the actor over the course of his life and Hollywood career. It is currently one of Kilmer's highest rated movies ever, and probably the best way to remember one of the most memorable, bankable stars of his day. I never had a business plan, the actor said. Oh, actually I did. I'm lying. My business plan was to get lucky, and I did, and that was great. And then my second business plan was to get lucky again, and there I faltered. Did you know beloved actor Val Kilmer wasn't really a veteran? But he was part of one of the most unintentional success U.S. military recruiting programs ever made, Top Gun. And let's be real, most of the people who joined the U.S. Armed Forces wanting to be Tom Cruise's Maverick actually became Val Kilmer's Iceman. And there's nothing wrong with that. He cares about safety. He wants to bring all his men home and is every bit as good as a pilot of Maverick. And unlike Maverick, Iceman actually got promoted. He would later go on to reprise the role of Iceman, this time incorporating his real-life throat cancer, a powerful scene displayed in 2022's Top Gun Maverick movie. His death in Los Angeles on April 1st, 2025 was caused by pneumonia, according to his daughter. He was 65 years old, gone but not forgotten. I don't have any regrets. It's an adage, but it's kind of true. Once you're a star, you're always a star, and it's just at what level. Val Kilmer. Having looked into the life and legacy of Val Kilmer, a Hollywood great with incredible range and dedication to his craft, it's obvious his tale is more than one of Hollywood's glory. It's a tale of grit, devotion, and adaptability. So how can you learn from Kilmer's story and apply it to your own life? 3 quick techniques. 1. Embrace versatility. 2. Resilience in adversity. And 3. Dedication to craft. I don't make any pretense about being normal. I'm not. Val Kilmer. Thanks for watching this video. How would you like to hear more motivational stories consistently? Do me a favor and support the channel by sharing and commenting below. And please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button to get the latest update. Soon, you will be on your way to feeling inspired.